A few years ago, Sig Sauer began building variations of their P320, and this is one of them. This is the P320 X-VTAC. It was built in collaboration with Kyle Lamb, who many of you know was a former Delta Force soldier and had operations in Iraq and other places. Kyle's become a huge influence in the firearms industry in terms of training and in firearms development. In fact, a few years ago, I had the opportunity to shoot his old AR-15 variation that Smith & Wesson used to build on, of all things, a prairie dog hunt. And let me tell you, that was a good time. As many of you already know, the Army picked Sig Sauer to replace the Beretta M9 pistol, you know, the one that they've had around since the 1980s. This is a variation, another variation of that pistol, right? So the P320, the M17, the M18, and there's a couple more variations of this. This is the X-VTAC variation. I had an opportunity to shoot it. It was super fun, but let me roll through some of the features that make this handgun different from a standard P320. The first thing you'll probably notice is the fact that the slide is a flat dark earth color, right? That makes it, you know, obviously it looks pretty cool. Another thing you'll clearly notice are the slide cuts, or the lightning cuts, or what they're really for. They're in there so that they give the slide the right weight and balance for the recoil. Another couple things here, the VTAC sights. These are day-night sights, so they have both a fiber optic tube and a tritium tube in there. There's an extended beaver tail on the grip here. Really helps when you're initially grabbing it out of the holster. It gives you a really good index point for that web part of your hand to index up against that beaver tail, and gives you a nice tight grip right out of the holster. But one of the coolest, well, really the coolest feature of this handgun, to be perfectly honest with you, is this new trigger from Sig Sauer. So the flat face trigger obviously helps you index that small pad of the last joint of your index finger for shooting, and if you'll notice, it breaks right at 90 degrees. All right, so there's no travel further back than 90 degrees, which is helpful for that really quick follow-up shot. The cool thing about the P320 overall is that it's a modular handgun. And what that means is you can take the slide and the barrel off the frame, and really the handgun is the trigger. It's the module inside the frame. You can pop that module out, put it in another frame, mate it with a slide and barrel, and have a whole different handgun. You can have a more compact frame with a shorter barrel and a shorter frame. You can even change calibers with the P320. It's like Legos for grown men kind of thing. I mean, it's really cool concept, and it works. Trust me, it works. If you're used to the trigger in one handgun, you can basically transfer that trigger over to the other different sized handgun and have the same feel and operation that you're used to in both. I wish there was the option to put a reflex sight up here. That would make it like the total package. But other than that, I just love shooting it. It's fun as heck, and I definitely plan on using it in some of my upcoming competitions, 3-gun, 2-gun, and more IDPA.